Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast, where we interview the talented people that make up Arizona's vibrant food and beverage scene. We've got a great episode today, but before we get into that, we want to remind you to visit tasteofaz.com and check out Sip Savor Shop, our newest event coming to you this fall at Salt River Fields in Scottsdale. Also, subscribe to our email newsletter so you get all of the best food and beverage stories emailed directly to you. Make sure to follow us on social media, and with all that said, let's get into today's episode.
All right, we've been working at getting this one rolling for a little while.
We
Getting
have.
this set up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys have been a couple busy fellas, so thank you for making the time.
Absolutely.
And I mean, okay, the podcast is fun, but the real fun is going to start at like 5 o'clock.
The pizza class is coming up.
You're going to help us.
invited.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I get nervous before every single podcast. And my wife was like, well, just think about this. After the podcast, you get to make and eat pizza.
Just calm me right down.
Yeah. It did,
Right?
yeah.
Pizza will do that.
It will.
Pizza magic.
Ah, man. And you guys make some incredible pizza.
It's going to be fun tonight. You're going to learn a lot. Yeah.
I hope so. I'm very amateur at making pizza, so I'm a blank slate. So
You better start looking and order an outdoor oven soon, right?
yeah,
Gosney or
yeah.
Uni.
I've tried making them on the Blackstone. It just doesn't. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I've
get hot
tried.
enough.
Okay.
Right.
But anyways, we're at Hayden Flour Mills, not the mill itself, but what is this facility exactly?
No, this is our bakery here. Don actually set this bakery up back in 2023, but the mill is actually right behind us.
Oh.
One door
so
away.
we're in the mill.
Dang! Did
Yeah.
it used to be down where Sauceman Farms is?
Yes.
Yeah, they've
Okay.
moved everything over to this premises. So
Well, we're here
everything
then.
happens right here inside the granary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to meet Jeff.
Yeah.
Awesome dude.
Super.
I slipped
super
in my
great
card. I'm
guy.
like, dude, you're coming on the podcast at some
Oh,
point.
he's got a
So-
lot to say, a lot of good stuff.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wealth. Like, you just keep talking, and it's like, oh my God, there's
So
just more
yeah.
information.
Clear my memory card for that one. Like, make it a lot
It's gonna be extended podcast, hour and a half. Give them.
Guys,
2-part series.
Yeah.
That's with after editing.
Yeah, we don't edit. So that might be a 4-hour episode, unless you say something super inappropriate, Don. So careful
I'll
what you
try to
say.
contain myself. got a foul mouth.
I don't believe that at all. So, introduce yourselves and what is your role with Barrio Bagels and Slice? Let's start with this gentleman over here.
Oren Molovinsky. I'm Don's business partner in Barrio Bagel and Slice. I've been in the restaurant business my whole life, basically, since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And met this great guy back in like 2017.
Okay.
We did a little collaborating. He helped me put together a bread program for a restaurant I opened back then in Chandler.
Nice.
And ever since then, we've just been doing collabs and helping each other out until we finally had a chance to do something together.
Yeah.
So, very excited.
I love it.
Yeah, we've been buddies a long time, but got to put in some time to. I was gonna say to figure each other out, but the cool thing was with Oren, it's always been the same thing. It's just been thumbs up. Core values are the same. Our look on our professions is like-minded, and so we just excited about serving community, which has always been part of our top core value. So
Yeah.
comes easily when you're working with Oren. We're on a mission. We're on just following our light, but it's consistent every day and just trying to get better.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'm co-founder Barrio Bagel and Slice with Oren, coming from Barrio Bread and just kind of lending my expertise in the bread world, something I've done for over 3 decades in several companies, but now putting it together, Barrio Bagel and Slice, under amazing premises that, former Sonic, and just making it happen healthy, quick food.
Yeah.
And just kind of changing that narrative of, a drive-through can have healthy.
Yeah.
It can have some good options, and really about serving community. It's no different than Barrio Bread, but yeah, excited to just be along for the ride, and every day is a learning opportunity.
I love it. Well, I love what you said about the business partner, like aligning values.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I always tell people. Luke, my business partner, great friend. We're so different in so many ways, and the way we look at things and the way we work. Like on paper, completely different, right? And all these, the hard skills, as you would say. But we've always aligned in those values. That's
so important. And that's what it is, right? The partnership
sure.
should be that balance and coming from different backgrounds and different tool belts you wear. But in the end, you're making it work because it takes both.
For sure.
It takes both. So to make it work. So
And you're going to be in the trenches.
Yeah.
And
it eliminates that fear or hesitation of having a honest discussion with each other.
Yeah.
When you're just totally aligned, it makes everything easier. And
For sure.
so, the restaurant business is not always, peaches and creams.
Really? Actually, let's do a new concept called peaches and cream.
Right.
So you're right, though. It's brutal. It's a brutal industry.
But we can sit down and we make big decisions in 30 seconds. It does not take long. And it's easy. If Don has a better idea, we go with it. But a lot of the times we're just like, what do you think? Yeah, I like it. Let's go. That's it because we've already built that relationship and we both have that mindset of what our goals are. So it's really easy to make decisions.
Yeah.
I've never been in a business partnership that has been this easy to flow, make good decisions. So that's why I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah. That's surprising because this guy seems like a real hard ass.
Yeah.
Mean ass.
Well,
mean ass baker.
Trust me,
right?
when I step into
That's another concept named mean ass baker.
whenever I step next to the mixer, that's when he gets a little touchy.
Elbows out.
That's Luke's mixer right there. That $5,000 camera, whatever that is. Yeah, if I get too close, he's like, I got it. You're good. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
We got to know our roles, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a really cool aspect of your guys of Barrio Bagels and Slice too, is that it is an old Sonic. Like you go there and it looks like it, but it doesn't look like it. It's like a local, like literally homegrown spot. With all that you're doing, but it's got that cool vibe to it, right? It's got shade in the parking lot, which
that's
is huge.
premium in the valley, right? We'll take it. Take any shade we can get.
Yeah.
So.
How did that happen? Like, how did you guys land on that property?
So, Don and I, when we started really talking about this concept, it was when Don first opened up the bakery here in Gilbert, here at Hayden Flour Mills. So I came and helped him get it opened up. I helped.
Whatever I can get, Oren.
Looks like you have a strong back, Oren.
I can wash dishes, and that's about what I did, and mop the floor. But we started talking a lot because we had worked on the bagel together. When I was still overseeing Chompy's.
Okay.
So we developed that bagel with Neil, one of the founders of Chompy's. He developed the Chompy's bagel, but he developed Don's Barrio Bagel for him. So that's where we started collaborating on a bagel, and Don had said, let's wrap something around this bagel. And so we started thinking of the concept. And originally we were going to open our first location in Tucson.
Okay.
We thought it makes sense. Barrio Bread's down there. Don's had obviously tremendous success. He's a household name down there.
Yep.
So that's what our goal was. So we started doing research, meeting with, some local developers, and just every deal we were looking to get into stalled out. Meanwhile, we get a message from our real estate broker that this Sonic's up for sale. And I'm like, a drive-through in Gilbert for sale? That never happens,
Unicorn.
Very rare.
Unicorn in the desert.
Yeah. I mean, you can lease them for a lot of money, but for sale, never. So I'm like, okay. So we made an offer, and another concept called Swig made a higher offer than us. So we're like, oh, well. So we kept going, went back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And then like 3 months later, as it happens, we get a call. Swig dropped out. They're desperate. They need they want to know if you're still interested at your price. And we said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Don and I, when we first went to that location, because we weren't even thinking Sonic, right? We went there, and again, it was like, what were we in there for, like 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And we just sat in the car and we're like, holy, this is it.
Yeah.
This is This is the spot.
Yeah.
It's even better than we envisioned. It's got everything we want and more space. We're able to put a bakery in here, and a quick service restaurant. I mean, it's only 1,100 square feet, but for us, that's more than we anticipated having. So it just worked out great. It's almost, I'm not a universe guy all the time, but it almost was like somebody was looking out for us.
For sure.
Made you a believer, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. And with the bakery here, started thinking about that too. And as we got closer to opening Barrio Bagel and Slice, how would we treat this facility? What would it be to, we know we wanted to buy bread from Barrio Bread and, ship it over to Bagel and Slice, which is amazing, 90 seconds away in a car ride, right? So started thinking about that. And then just one night I thought okay, what if we have just absorb it under Barrio Bagel and Slice? It could be a commissary. It could allow us to stretch out. We can keep a wholesale bread production system going, and really had consistency for training. So that was another aha moment that just things opened up, and just quickly making decisions on that as well. But we're so fortunate. I mean, to be inside the mill house, to have the bakery that's across the street from the restaurant. We can train other bakers at both places. We can have people from here go support the other, the restaurant. So it was just, everything started to make sense. And I think, when you're in that right partnership and you have that mindset, and, we're both kind of like go-getters. We jump on opportunities when we feel they're right, make it, those calculated risks, but then it's go, we don't stall too much on decision-making, and we make some, 100% solid decisions. Just kidding. Flawless. That never happens. But, we're excited about them. So that was just, it seemed to be working out. It all made sense. And then Jeff's been just an amazing supporter, and working, even the flour, the way we source flour for our total business just become more efficient and streamlined for Hayden as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and not to mention, everything we just mentioned it made that location great for us. Mm-hmm. And then on top of it, we're basically in Arizona Wilderness's original brew pub's parking lot. Yeah. This juggernaut, a leader in Arizona brewing, great food, great clientele, great demographics. And we're like, this is perfect. Like, we get to bring even more synergy to this part of Northwest Gilbert, where you don't see a lot of, these types of restaurants.
Yeah.
A lot of chains. It's kind of a weird spot. John Buford calls it the notch. It's like this notch of Gilbert in between Mesa and Chandler. Like, literally, it's Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa in a minute and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a weird spot, but now we've got this synergy, and people cross over the park to one parking lot to the other, and that's what we kind of envisioned from the beginning.
Right. Employees going to each other.
Yeah, definitely a lot of employee crossovers.
Sure.
They like cold brew, and our guys like beers.
Yeah. Well, what a great, the ethos of what Wilderness does, coincides with what you guys do so much.
Yeah.
Right? So it's people that are going, it's not like someone's going there, it's like a Buffalo Wild Wings, like, oh, what's this over here?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is Arizona Wilderness, the ingredients that they use. And I think they use grain R&D, right? That was where the original Hayden flour. So there's so much that just the people that are interested in Arizona Wilderness are going to be super interested in Barrio Bagels and Slice, which is great. Like, what is this? I thought that was a Sonic, but this shit looks incredible.
Right.
Yeah, and I've known, Jonathan, and Patrick for a long, long time. They came to visit me in the garage when I first started Barrio Bread, and they were like, wow, this guy's making bread out of his garage. We need to meet him because we're making beer the same way, There's simple environment. So it's, over the years, talking to Jonathan, once or twice a year, and coming to visit, or we just find a conference or whatever we go to. But it's cool to come back and be close to them, because there is that history. We've known each other for so long. So again, it was like another feature related to our business that could be value added. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So starting to see all those things, it just, check that box. The box you didn't know you're going to check is there too. Mm-hmm. So it just created this yes sort of path for us to, launch the concept here. We hope to get back down to Tucson. We're trying, folks, but this you got to go with what's in front of you, and and this was a really great investment for us. And it's going to take some time, of course, but we're super hard workers. But we do want to bring it to Tucson, and show some love there. But what we do is statewide. It's not Tucson versus Phoenix. It's just statewide initiative to grow the local grain economy, and that's what we're set out to do. And feel like we have the great partners to do it, the strategic partners to develop this whole thing, and people like Wilderness are part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So have you always been in the industry, in the food and beverage industry?
I took a detour into teaching for a while, 7 years as a public school educator.
Okay.
I was a College of Ed grad, and before that I was in anthropology at U of A. But it's been a long time. So I've been in the bread business basically over 3 decades, 30, I'm 55, so 33 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but it's something that even when I was a teacher, I was just dying to get back to and finding a way to do that after selling my first company.
Okay.
But it's what I love to do. I love to, make food and give it to people and to serve the community. And now with Barrio Bread and Barrio Bagel and Slice, there's so many opportunities to serve your community outside of your facility.
Yeah.
So a lot of conferences, keynote speeches, whatever, just simple mixers. We're trying to just have that dialogue open and know that great connections happen outside the bakery, and that's where a lot of the work can take place as well. Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun too, just doing what we do, and surround ourselves with all the right people to create more of a movement than just individually trying to do our things.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that.
And really, the Sonic, we wanted to keep it somewhat recognizable as a Sonic. We could have done a lot more to hide that it was a Sonic, but that's part of the deal. We want to attract a customer that would otherwise not really have a reason to try this bread or the motivation to try good food and good bread, right? So if you give them that sense of comfort of, okay, it's a fast food restaurant. It looks like a fast food restaurant. I see cars in the drive-through. It kind of looks like a Sonic. It brings people in. And our goal is to bring Don's incredible breads, with no preservatives other than, natural sourdough starter, no oils, no added sugars, and bring that's the basis of everything we do. So now they come in and they still get that bagel shop or pizza by the slice sandwich shop experience. It's fast, but you're getting it on wholesome bread. And over time, we're seeing that drive-through customers who are only drive-through customers, they probably hit 30 different drive-throughs in the area.
Yeah.
Are now starting to come in, and they're saying, I just kept coming through the drive-thru and I had to come in and see what was going on here. So the fact that they're slowing down, taking time to get out of their car, come in, look at the breads, but then we sell a lot of sourdough bread through that drive-thru window. It's pretty wild. I don't know anywhere else, at least in the Valley, that does pizza by the slice out the window. I mean, maybe you could get like a Pizza Hut pizza out the window, right?
Sure, yeah.
But pizza by the slice on sourdough focaccia bread that's baked every day fresh, I don't know where. And then sourdough loaves, fresh baked, where you can just come through the drive-thru and we let you know what we have available. I mean, so we're really we like the fast food format. Because it attracts a clientele that we're trying to educate and help them get healthier by eating good food.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like when you guys had just opened and you gave me a tour of like the kitchen and everything. It blew me away because it was so cool so food, I think culture is one of those buzzwords that people use a lot, right? But I feel that that's one of the things that Arizona food has is true culture, right? Especially Tucson, right? Tucson, the city of gastronomy and the thousands of years of history of food and how much it is. And you bringing that in and, Hayden Flour Mills, like all like these heritage grains and these grains that were, gone for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Brought back.
Right.
This is true culture. But to integrate that into new technology and stuff I get chills like thinking about it, because of that bridge between this deep history and these pure products to like, this is efficiency, right? I can go through that drive-thru. I can get a slice of pizza, a cold brew, a bag of flour to make pizza at home, and a loaf of sourdough. And that's incredible.
Yeah, trying to reach the consumer of where they are, where they prefer to be. So if that's the drive-thru or even the drive up and get out to sit on the patio, you kind of, as a business these days, want to be resilient and respond to the way people are shopping. I mean, a great example is we have a Barrio Bagel and Slice app, and every day you can just buy a loaf of bread off that in addition to your other items. So, and then pick it up in store. So there's a lot of those conveniences built in for our guests.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part though, is the strongest businesses are the ones that are adapting to these changing conditions of people's preferences, how they shop or what they like to experience, or, whatever they're into. Is it shorter product list? Is it, all natural, all those things. So I feel like we're hitting a lot of those. And it comes naturally, not that we're thinking, oh, we have to really capitalize on the app, but these are technologies that we believe in that are fun for us to learn about and are effective.
Sure.
And that's this way you communicate with an audience. And if you really want to build that movement, like I was talking about, that's inclusion. That's inviting everyone to participate with you and keeping them informed. So sometimes just blasting out quick notifications that are fun and silly about Bagel and Slice, about picking up a loaf of bread. That just creates this culture we want, is that everyone is part. If you want to subscribe, and we'll keep you in touch, we'll keep you informed. We're very transparent. And I think that's what people enjoy. And we, just as business owners and entrepreneurs, love to do as well.
Yeah.
And the food has to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's going to keep them coming, right?
Yeah, we've got this kind of convergence of two customers. First is the one I was mentioning earlier, the fast food customer, who all they want is a good value and efficiently. I mean, friendly would be nice,
Sure.
So,
We got a ton of
but
that.
it's not high on the list for most people.
Yeah.
You're not like, maybe if you go into one of the better concepts like Chick-fil-A or whatever, you expect friendly, In-N-Out Burger, but that's what we want our guests to experience. So we do have a high standard of hospitality for ourselves.
Nice.
We think of it as a fine dining restaurant, but the food had to be kick-ass, especially because we've got a James Beard Award winner, on the sign, So we knew that other group of customers, there would be a high expectation because Don's associated with the restaurant. And so, we already get really high marks on the bread. That was a no-brainer. We knew that the bread was going to steal the show.
Yeah.
But we had to make sure that the bagel sandwiches, the paninis, the pizza by the slice were not mediocre. They have to be killer.
Yeah.
So the good news is we've gotten tremendous response to the quality of the food, and to the portion sizes and all that. So it's easy to do on Don's Bread, but we've been able to. I think we've been able to meet that expectation.
Absolutely, and I think even for me. When I drive up, I'm thinking about the food. I'm thinking about what am I going to get today. Today I got a
place.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll skip because I have to. But I was thinking about that bagel this morning. The plain bagel, tilted bean cream cheese, sliced red onion, tomato, and a couple slices of bacon. Whoa, that was my treat when I was doing deliveries with a cup of coffee. So, even for me, tasting the food, I'm always so excited about what we have. It's not something like, oh, I'm so bored of it, don't show it to me. Every time I get to eat it, I'm really impressed. And we're always working on, new items to develop. And that's been really fun too. And I mean, of course, the tasting part is part of that. So, but we get to decide what works. And it's been just a lot of fun. But the food that we're creating with the people that we have in place to help us it's delicious. And we're just so proud of it. And the people part is great. Our staff is wonderful, and they definitely believe in that hospitality part. It's been a lot of coaching, and that's been a part of our core values that we started with to, explain to them and train them on. But it's really great to see them intrinsically motivated because they're getting that positive feedback themselves. So it's nice for them to really be proud of what's happening under that
For
roof.
sure. How do you find the people? Like, right? So my grandmother owned a restaurant growing up, and she would always, I'm like, oh, Grandma, this is awesome. I want to have a restaurant. She's like, do you? She didn't ask. She was told. She's like, no, you don't. She's like, and she always said, I'm like, oh man, the kitchen and the food and all. I mentioned all these things. She's like, it's the people, and she's like, and that's the hardest thing to execute. She's like, you could have all these great things, great recipes, great people, great, all of this stuff, great equipment, but if you don't have the right people,
it's true.
So how do you guys have like a specific approach on how you? I mean, years of experience help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a pretty rigid process for bringing folks in, but even that, you're just, it's really like, just like anywhere. I mean, but especially in quick service restaurants, I won't even say restaurants, because like fine dining or upscale restaurants or bar themed restaurants, you can look at somebody's resume, see where they worked, and it's like, oh yeah, he was a bartender at blah, blah, blah in this place. Oh, those are cool places. He was there for more than a year. So you can kind of put together that at least, they had their shit together and have some good training. Mm-hmm. But for us, in quick service, you're looking at resumes that are typically the backgrounds, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, and so it's like, okay. And, 8 months here, maybe 12 months there.
Yeah.
So we do our best to bring them in, and we do phone interviews first, always phone interview first. So we're not making a first impression, based on if somebody's got, a different hairstyle than we're accustomed to or whatever. Yeah. We have that phone interview first and really get to know who they are. We send them information about who we are and what our core values are. And then if they're still interested, they come in and meet with us. And, when we hired our opening staff, Don and I met everyone and made the decision together. And even then we probably lost about half of our opening staff because they just didn't fit the core values.
Yeah.
And it's never about, we have a very transparent discussion when they're coming on board. We share with them all of our core values. The most important thing is that they understand that if we may let them go, and if we let them go, it's not just for our benefit or for the restaurant's benefit, it's for their benefit as well. Yeah. If they're not a good fit for us, they're not going to be successful. So why would they want to stay in a place for 2 or 3 years where they're going to not make more money, not earn more responsibility? So we let them know that up front. So when we do let people go, it's not like this big blow. It's like, hey, it just doesn't work here, but here's the type of place you should go work at. So the folks who've made the cut are really A+ players who are still with us. They want to be there. They're not all like seasoned food service professionals. A lot of them are right out of high school.
Yeah.
But, I remember just to wind it down on this, we went, I don't know if you remember Charlie Trotter's restaurant in Chicago.
Heard the name. Yeah.
I mean, he passed away, but for a time, he was considered the best chef in the U.S., best fine dining restaurant in the U.S. We went in one time during the National Restaurant Show and had dinner there, and we were lucky enough that he was there, and we were able to get a tour of his kitchen with him. And we asked him the same question: how do you hire people? And he goes, I don't care if they've ever stepped foot in a restaurant as an employee or a customer. I look for who they are inside, and then if I can develop that person, if they have the integrity, the compassion, the empathy that you need to be successful in this business, and that's who I hire. And I could teach anyone how to cook. And he had 40 cooks in the kitchen. I mean, it was that resonated a lot, and I think that's kind of how we look at it. It's the person, not their resume.
It's developing the person, and they can really learn a lot of skills, and that's what we're there to teach them: the culinary skills, but hospitality skills, but we're there to develop the people and looking for the nice people, right? Looking for the people you can tell can take in information and really build on what you're teaching them daily, and that smiling helps a lot, and just being those kind people, because that's where Oren and I are. We want to lead that out of just how we're kind and to our people and our guests, and people see that. So it's nice to just see that carry through, carry forward. But yeah, I feel like we got a great crew, and we're always recruiting, and people that are in place now, I feel like they're doing super well. And it'll be nice to, when we turn the corner into October and get super busy and continue with what we've built on, and which is a lot of great systems and some really good people. So got a lot of efficiency built in. We're just ready to take it on.
Nice. Let's take a quick break here.
Sure.
A quick reminder to get your tickets to Sip Savor Shop before they sell out. We'll be at Salt River Fields on November 1st, bringing you food, beverage, and a retail experience like we've never done before. It's going to be very exciting, and we hope to see you there. Make sure to sign up for our email newsletter and check us out on social media. Now let's get back into the episode.
So we got to talk a little bit about history. You'd mentioned it already. James Beard award-winning gentleman.
Outstanding Baker 2022. Yeah, I mean, quite an honor, right? Never thought that would happen, but just kind of continued on. I wasn't focused on the James Beard. I had been nominated a couple times, semifinalist, and the third time made it to the end, very end. So it was just incredible to receive that honor and that award. But it was really just a validation of the path I was on, which is not just, being a baker using heritage wheats, but really the whole community aspect of connecting community through bread and really showcasing place through its people and products. So quite an honor just to represent Arizona. And I wouldn't even say it's Tucson. That's where I'm, came from, but was born here in Tempe. So had a long history here in Tempe as well. And coming home, my folks just live down the street, which is really cool. But yeah, just doing it for the people. And that's everyone that has helped me along the way and inside the grain chain and outside just being consumers of the bread. But yeah, it was amazing. Seed savers to, the farmers, the miller, like Hayden Flour Mills, my team. And so just being on the right path. It was awesome win for our city of gastronomy in Tucson. But like I said, I look at it as a statewide. I'm growing the local grain economy for the entire state and the Southwest. So it feels good, feels right, and it's for everyone. Big win for everyone.
Did it change things for did you notice more media, more people reaching out to you? What more people did it change the path at all for you?
Yeah, when you win, you're just bombarded. I think I did 50 interviews in 2 days while I was in Chicago. So everyone is wanting to talk to you. Then you start after that, you come home and everyone wants to call you and get into business with you, which I think is insane. Because you don't know me. But really, I'm kind of a slow and steady. I'm in working with people I want to work with. To me, life is too short to just, set out to make money. I mean, in this business, it's tough to do. So it's creating meaning over money. The money follows that meaning. And so working with the right people, it just started to fall in place, designing that bagel, working with Oren and Chompy on the bagel. It was invite, after the award, okay, let's do a collab together. So those things feel great. I'm not opening a brand new restaurant with someone else and just putting my name on it for no reason. We'll probably never go there. They're going to operate 100% of the time, and I don't feel welcome going in. I don't want that. I want to feel really proud of the opportunities that come my way and the opportunities I decide on. So it's really about lifestyle for me. It's about creating that partnership that's more than just the business part of things, and doing something that's impactful for my community is probably one of the biggest things that I'll jump in, is how will this serve my community? Does it fit into my life? Will I be happy day to day doing it? Will I learn something from it? So that was, when we started talking, it was a little scary to have those initial discussions. I think we can do it. And Oren was right there, that kind of echoing, I think we can do it. I know we can do it, and getting closer and closer. And then I was making the pizza in Tucson, with my son, and that was so incubating for this opportunity too, and just saying we're just doing these pop-up pizzas. But when we started doing that, it just made sense. It came together, which was more organic than just throwing everything together at one time. So everything, these bits and pieces just came together, and that was another sign that I was on the right path. It made sense. Calculated risk. Again, you can't just jump in, not knowing. But we crunched all the numbers. We filled out all the different cells we could in Excel or whatever, and started thinking about it, and then really, what does this do for the community? And so it really made sense to serve this community in the end, to give them something. Like Oren said, there's not much around here. There's Arby's, Taco Bell. There's not much. So for this community, which this is products they're demanding too, to tuck into this area and serve this community here, and now the Valley with the wholesale Barrio bread, Barrio Bagel Slice loaves. It's awesome to me. Just opened up my world, really, to meet new chefs and new people in the industry like yourself. This is what it's about for me. I got to be happy, number one.
I dig it. Mm-hmm. I dig it. Yeah, I mean, that's that. I feel like those. First of all of the things coming at you, got to be really good at saying no, right?
Yeah, and be okay with saying no.
Yeah,
and be okay. And that's sort of a skill that you learn. after these things happen is, you want to be selective. And for me, I'm very kind of selective because, like I said, day to day, I want to be smiling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When you say that you guys both seem like very balanced in your life, right? Have families and like things like that's. I feel like we Luke and I, we do what we do and love what we do, but it's just as important for us to be able to I can go home, put my kids to bed and hang out and watch a show with them or read, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes we even get to sneak out just us two, and that's one of the highlights too. It's nice. You still want to hang out with me, So it's
that's true. That is true.
I mean, just off the clock too. It's been, Oren's like my best friend. So but he understands, because he knows enough about my life right now.
Yeah. So, Oren, if I'm correct, you also have a history in farming.
Yeah. So, a little here in Arizona.
Okay.
So, but back east, I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. That's where I started my restaurant career.
Okay.
And part of that was in the maybe the last 10 years I was there before I moved here in 2011. I was in fine dining, and we put together this consortium of restaurateurs and chefs, and we started buying from local farmers. So my wife Diana and I started a farmer's market out there because we started getting to know all these folks. I was buying all their products for our restaurants.
Yeah.
And we started putting together a farmer's market, and that was very successful. And so it was like roadside stands in Northern Virginia. And so when we moved out here, we were like, we need to buy property so we can actually farm.
Yeah.
And so they were building a new neighborhood. So our house is being built, and we keep driving by this sign, for sale sign. And we're like, there's no way we're going to be able to buy a place right across the street from our house. Yeah. And turns out, kind of the same as the Sonic deal. Like a couple deals fell out. It was at the end of that crisis, the bank or the recession or whatever.
Like kind of.
Yeah. And so it just happened, and we got 3.5 acres in Chandler, and immediately started. The soil was good, so we immediately started planting produce, installed flood irrigation. Now we have almost 400 fruit trees there.
Nice. Goats,
dairy cow, chickens, hoop houses. So we're doing vegetables, and we've been at the Gilbert Farm Market for years during peach season.
Okay.
So it's been a lot of fun. So any spare time I do have, I'm out there attacking tumbleweeds. They're my nemesis.
Right in the movie, you see, like this beautiful fruit. Like, this is what I do all day. No, it's pulling the weeds.
I have this like flail mower that's a walk behind mower.
Okay.
And I literally pull it back, and we have like these 10-foot tumbleweeds in the orchard. But the nice thing is goats love tumbleweeds. So
that's perfect.
They love them, especially when they're green. So we get by with no hay for a while. Sure. So, but I love farming. My grandparents were farmers, so there's a history of it. When I grew up, they had chickens and goats, and they were more commercial level. We're like, I would say, more market farmers.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun, and it was a great way to raise our kids. Our kids we have 5 kids, bringing them up on that farm, the hard work, but also the relationship they build with the animals is pretty special, and they understand the cycle of life a lot better than most.
Without getting too graphic.
What's for dinner?
So, so that I know it's not in reach for everybody, but it's a great way to raise a family on a homestead type of deal, and give them those values early on. So it's been a lot of fun.
So we went back this past weekend to Ohio. So I grew up in Ohio. My nephew got married, and my sister, they live on a farm, and it's like her father-in-law was a dairy farm, but he's since retired. But so now him and his brothers, my brother-in-law and his brother, they grow like soybeans, and they basically do commodity type crops. But I always miss like the farm stands, like those roadside farm stands. And there was a couple of them, and there's a big one by my sister's. I'm like, hey, what's up with the, this one? She's like, don't go there. She's like, they just get food from the stores and they put them from the clamshell into a thing to make it seem. I'm like, where are the good ones? She's like, all right, got to go down this way. So I'm glad those things are still there. I mean, that's do you have one here? We need to bring a roadside.
We have an on-farm market. So
okay.
But unfortunately it's very seasonal, like uber seasonal.
Yeah.
So she'll have the on-farm market during peach season usually, and try to compress everything into that 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We're enjoying it. I have big plans for it, but
nice.
The restaurant comes first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have plenty of free time.
Yeah.
We'll be selling bread soon at the Gilbert Farmers Market.
That's
right, yeah.
We'll be selling breads at the Gilbert Farmers Market.
Okay.
And now
Excellent.
once a month is at Agritopia. They have a small market there, so it'll be a little bit different sale, but something Oren's still familiar with.
I
and
love
we can
it
still
though,
pop
yeah.
out the tables. But yeah.
Nice. And you guys will be at our festival on November 1st.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking
Super
forward
excited.
to that.
Very
Yeah.
excited for that.
Just saw something coming out on Instagram today.
The team is
Yeah,
kicking ass at
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share that up. So
Yeah.
look out for that.
So one thing, so community, right? I love that so much of what you guys do is about community. And speaking of community, this bowl and all this stuff, this is for an event that we're going to be a part of tonight.
Yes.
And you do these quite often, right?
Yeah, well, it's our second pizza class for Barrio Bagel and Slice. But I've been teaching probably since 2009. I've taught over 8,000 people just in Tucson alone. Just direct instruction, being in front of me, in-person classes. And then so many more online with my teaching platform called breadlessons.com. But I love doing it. It's just really cool to see people have these little aha moments of, I can do this. We had someone in this last class, and he said he doesn't touch anything in his kitchen. His wife does all the cooking, and I think he was pretty happy about that. And then she probably went out of town, was like, okay, dude, your turn. But he came out, not knowing how to even combine, never had used yeast, and he made some of the best pizza, and so proud. And we have a photo of him right out here at this oven. But this is the cool part of my job too, is this, being a bread educator, is seeing people really respond to this and know that, they're not going to just pick up the phone to call Domino's or Papa John's to get a pizza. You can get a Barrio Grains pizza kit and can of Bianco DiNapoli tomatoes and fire it up at home with whatever you have in the fridge. So, making these sort of things accessible, but also it allows for appreciation to happen of what we're doing or other food producers in the community. But I think people just want that knowledge. For them, it's satisfying to know like how food is prepared, and once they learn a little bit of it, it just becomes something that they're always curious about. So going into restaurants, exhibition kitchens, or bakeries, and seeing people work and knowing what goes into the food and where the ingredients come from, I think more and more this is what people are craving and demanding.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to do it. But overall, I just love teaching people. It's just really a lot of fun and satisfying.
I'm excited. I'm excited to learn.
Yeah, the last class, it's the first time I attended one of Don's classes, and I was blown away. It's really good. I mean, the content is great, but the one-on-one guidance and instruction, and just it's so clear. So we had all like the guy who never cooked before to like a really avid pizza guy, right?
Okay.
Who is like doing pizzas in his really nice Italian oven every weekend.
Okay.
And he came here to really refine his skills. And I think he got just as much or more out of it as the guy who's never cooked before.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that. And just like Don said, aha moment. It was like literally light bulbs popping up over people's heads. They're like, oh my God, this is and
for them to connect with the other people in class, for that person that was, had had that experience, he was feeling proud because people are asking him questions. So that's what it is like those teaching and learning. I'm not just here to teach, but there's teaching and learning, and that happens with everyone in the class. There's those moments where you participate in both. But I think that allows for, the appreciation of community itself to come in and maybe be shy about who's next to me. I don't know anything about them. I mean, they're chatting. Next thing you know, they're leaving. Oh, let's stay in touch. Or, hey, let's meet up this bakery. Or, I'll follow your Instagram or your products. So that's what it's about too. It's we're big proponents of that. Is just connecting community through our food, through the bread, pizza, whatever. But we're fortunate to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I think if anyone is connecting people to Arizona food, it's Don. And that's the one thing that I've always been intrigued about Don is his commitment to that. It's just intense, and I feel like as a state, and our community is going to be much better off health-wise, and our ecology is going to be much better off because of the type of teaching he's doing and the type of collaboration. So, it's really remarkable. What he's been able to accomplish. But these classes, even, you'd think we'd be like, hey, let's get 100 people in this class. And Don's done some big classes, I think, down in Tucson, bread classes, but in bigger spaces. But yeah, just to have 13, 14, 15 people here and really connect is really something special, and that I don't think too many bakers or chefs at Don's level are doing those types of things very often.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, Luke and I are competing, so you have to tell us whose pizza's better when we're all done with this.
Nice. That's
See
good.
the cash over there.
If I win, I get his camera. So we got to wrap up here because I know we got to get ready for this class. I appreciate you guys taking the time doing
Pleasure.
this.
Yeah.
What's on the forefront for Barrio Bagels and Slice?
Well, we'd like to open more locations.
Okay.
But, we're really making sure that the first location is 100% rock solid.
Yeah.
I mean, a concept that we look up to today it was announced that they're closing 41 locations, Salad and Go in Texas.
Dang.
Yeah. And so we keep reminding ourselves what growing too fast can do to you.
Sure.
So we've got our hands in a few different projects that are materializing, that aren't all restaurants, but it's really fun because when a project comes our way, we get to talk about it, determine if it fits into what we want to do, and where the Barrio brand should be. And Don's time and effort, and we found a couple that are really intriguing. So we're hoping that they materialize. But we definitely want to open a Barrio Bagel and Slice in Tucson.
Okay. Nice.
In the meantime, it's really about the local grain economy. So strengthening the relationships with the growers, with Native Seed Search. The Millers here, we've had a great relationship with the Hayden team, and then bringing more people into that fold. Collaborating with Sonoran Pasta here is really fun. So just really trying to tighten up this local group of makers and producers, and maybe bring a little bit more strength instead of thinking of each other as competitors, thinking of each other like. All of us can, high tide rises all ships.
Yep.
We're not competing against other small bakeries and family-owned restaurants. We're all, as a group, trying to compete with big food, right?
Sure.
So that's what we have to think about. That's how we think of it.
Yeah, it's about building a resilient food system in Arizona. I mean, more and more we're having to really think about how we get our strength and where our strength comes from. It's just about being able to network with others, having efficient food chains and networks that we can develop. But it's really about the local part that's going to benefit all of us in the future. So as Oren said, all these people just coming into our fold, joining theirs, and then making one big group of people that are dedicated to being resilient and, sidestepping some of the big ag on a lot of occasions and trying to keep the economics and the agriculture and the gastronomy right here in our state. So it's fun to do that. And being up here, like I said, just meeting so many people. I mean, to me, every time I drive up, I'm excited to go out and see what's out there. Unfortunately, I get to do a lot of the deliveries right now for our team. So I get to connect, and that's kind of part, that's part of my job. As what I do is about meeting these people and bringing them in and, having this exchange of products and dialogue with them. So them to use the bread at the restaurants, which elevates all of us, we're all focused on quality.
Today, the breads are featured at the Musical Instrument Museum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
which is
awesome.
a killer.
Yeah,
such a great place.
So cool.
Really
they do a
unique accounts.
huge amount of F&B. So we've been working with their chef, Paul and Thomas, the GM there. They reached out to us. And so those types of collaborations are great because now we get to introduce these great breads to a whole new audience that would have never likely found us otherwise, So, those are the types of things that are just so fun to work on right now. Then we can take the time to do it because we don't have this pressure of grow, open more.
Paying off investors. We're just, ourselves kind of.
We're the only two.
Which we want to just keep it there as long as possible. But and that allows us to have some risks and, rewards and really grow and build a strong foundation before we, get to a point where we need that help. So, but it's a good amount of pressure on you too, to really go for it and to get up every day and try to get as much done as we can. So that's been exciting. And Oren and I are like that. We were kind of built for not sitting down, but always just jamming around and trying to get the most out of every day.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Fortunately, we love what we do. So that makes it easy.
My wife told me a quote the other day. She's like, pressure is a privilege.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's always throwing singers out, man.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like it.
But
She's trying to tell you something.
She always is. And I need to hear something, man. I need all of it. She's like, she'll say something to me and she's like, because sometimes I just need to vent a little bit. And she's like, did you need to vent or did you want me to really give you the good feedback? I'm like, always give me the good feedback. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear.
Yes.
No, she's a good one. That's once again, that's all about the relationships and like having good people in your corner. So you guys are doing it.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very happy for you guys. Keep kicking ass.
Well, we're glad you guys came out. This is awesome.
Let's make some pizza.
Let's do
for
it.
sure.
It's gonna be a great night.
Thanks, man.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Taste of AZ podcast. Make sure you've got your tickets to Sip, Savor, Shop for our event this fall on November 1st at Salt River Fields. We'll be bringing some of Arizona's best food and beverage and dozens of retail vendors for you to sip, savor, and shop your way through Arizona's finest. Check us out on atasteofaz.com, sign up to our email newsletter, follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next episode.